Chapter 20. And it took place on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, the chief priests and the scribes came with the elders, and spoke to him, saying, Tell us, by what authority do you do these things, or who gave you this authority? And answering them, he said, I also will ask you one thing, and you tell me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say, Why then didn't you believe him? But if we shall say, Of men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John was a prophet. And they answered that they did not know the source. And Jesus said to them, Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. Then he began to speak this parable to the people. There was a man who planted a vineyard and leased it out to farmers and left the country for a long time. And when the season had come, he sent a servant to the farmers that they should give him the fruits of the vineyard. But the farmers beat him and sent him away with nothing. And again he sent yet another servant, but they beat him and dishonored him and sent him away with nothing. And again he sent a third to the vineyard, but they also wounded him and cast him out. Then the Lord of the vineyard said, What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Perhaps they will respect him when they see him. But when the farmers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours. And they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. What then will the Lord of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy these farmers and will give his vineyard to others. But when they heard this, they said, May it not be. And he looked at them and said, What then does it mean that is written? The stone that the builders rejected has become the head of the corner. Everyone who falls on that stone shall be broken, but on whoever it falls, it will grind him to powder. And the chief priests and the scribes in the same hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew that he had spoken this parable against them. And they watched him and sent spies who disguised themselves to be righteous, that they might trap him with words, so as to deliver him into the power and authority of the governor. And they questioned him, saying, Teacher, we know that you say and teach what is right, neither regard any man's person, but you teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful for us to give Caesar tribute or not? But perceiving their craftiness, he said to them, Why do you test me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription is it? Then they answered and said, Caesar's. And he said to them, Give then unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar, and to God that which belongs to God. And they could not catch him in his speech before the people, and they marveled at his answers, and could say nothing. Then some of the Sadducees came to him, who deny that there's a resurrection, and they questioned him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote unto us, If any man's brother dies having a wife, and the same dies childless, that his brother should take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. There were 7 brethren, and the first took a wife, and died childless, and the second took the wife, and he died childless, and the third took her, and likewise also the 7, and left no children behind them, and died. Last of all, the woman also died. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of them shall she be? For 7 had her to wife. Jesus answered and said to them, The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage. But those who are accounted worthy of that age, to obtain the resurrection from the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. For neither can they die any more, for they are like the angels. For they are also sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But that the dead are raised, even Moses showed at the bush, when he called the Lord, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. Then some of the scribes responded and said, Well spoken, teacher. And after that, no one dared ask him anything. Then he said to them, How do they say that Christ is David's son? And David himself said in the Psalms, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit on my right hand, until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. David therefore called him Lord. How is he then his son?" Now as all the people were listening, he said to his disciples, "Beware of the scribes, who like to walk in robes and love salutations in the marketplace, and the first seats in the synagogues, and first place in the suppers, who devour widows' houses, and out of wrong motives make long prayers. These shall receive a greater damnation.